Why am I getting permission denied messages? Have you ever tried to open a file or run a program and suddenly seen a permission denied message pop up? It can be frustrating, but understanding why it happens can make fixing it much easier. Permission denied messages are common errors in operating systems like Windows, Linux, and macOS. They happen because the system has rules called permissions that control who can access, change, or run files and folders. These rules are there to keep your system safe and stable, especially when multiple users are involved. At the core, a permission denied message means your user account doesn't have the rights needed for that action. For example, if you try to edit a system file on Windows or Linux, but your account isn't an administrator or doesn't have the right permissions, you'll see this error. Sometimes, it's because the file is owned by another user or group, and your account isn't part of that group. If the permissions are set too restrictively, even your own user might be blocked from accessing certain files. Another common cause is files being in use or locked by other processes. For example, if a program is using a file, trying to delete or modify it might give you a permission error. When working over a network, permissions set on shared folders or remote servers can also block access. If you're trying to run a script or program, it needs to have execute permissions enabled. Without that, the system won't let you run it and will show a permission denied message. Operating systems handle permissions differently. Linux and Unix-based systems use a permission model based on user, group, and others, with read, write, and execute options. You can change these with commands like chmod to fix access issues. Windows uses access control lists to set permissions for users and groups, which you can adjust through the Properties menu. macOS, being Unix-based, follows similar rules but also has extra security features like system integrity protection that can restrict access to certain system files. To fix permission-denied errors, start by checking the permissions of the file or folder. You can do this through the Properties or using command line tools. If you're not the owner, you might need to change ownership or ask the administrator for access. On Linux, you can use the sudo command to run programs with elevated privileges. For scripts, make sure they have execute permissions by setting the right flags. When working with remote files, verify that your network permissions are correct. Understanding how each operating system manages permissions helps you troubleshoot these errors more effectively. Sometimes, you just need to give your user account the right access, or run a program as an administrator or root user. Always be cautious when changing permissions, especially on system files, to avoid accidentally making your system vulnerable. Permission-denied messages are a sign that the system is doing its job to protect your data and system integrity. By knowing the common causes and solutions, you can quickly resolve these errors and keep your workflow smooth.